All right, hello everyone. Hole number 8 here that I'm setting up for of the Master Tournament. Just going to start with Kingmaker. I have not seen a wind of this hole played yet, so just going to have to kind of wing it, not knowing, for this first attempt for me. So let's just see what we have. I remember, you know, from a while back, this is very similar wind, so they want to bring driving this green into play again. So the best way to do that was with a hook and some top spin, but not too much. So I'm thinking, you know, somewhere around here. Similarly, we'll need to try to, it looks like this might also land in the bunker. So you might want to be just a little bit cautious with how much you go. I'm going to adjust somewhere over here, 30-ish rings. As I mentioned, the wind seems to be a little bit aggressive, so I'm actually going to take off some. You'll see that I'm not using very much power. Let's just see how this looks. It looks like it still lands in the bunker. So even less power than that means you might want to consider using balls like Snowman or what's some of the other one? Prestige, Earth Ball. This is a much more northern wind than it was last time. It was actually a little bit pointed, just a little bit more. And you can see even with the little power, I landed what, right here? I needed it to land right here. Now when it lands, so you can see my line was very good. What you needed to do is you needed to land right on this, and it actually springboards. So what you'll get is if you do this right, it'll hop here, and then it'll hop off that other fairway. And what you saw me doing was kind of counter spinning it back towards the right. If you don't do that, you'll have the tendency to overcut the fairway. So you will need some kind of, but here you can see, I'm assuming my opponent's going to do relatively similar because he didn't, you know, consider the same. It's funny that that landed kind of the same distance mine did. I mean, that should have landed way beyond where mine did because I used what? Just a fraction of power. And my opponent there used so much more. So a little unlucky break from my perspective, but let me show you how to get out of this one. Shouldn't be too tough. Of course, we do have new values for this. Here you can see it kind of shoots down to a lower ground. There's almost kind of no denying that it's shooting down to a lower ground. However, we're going to be pulling away from max. So with that said, I'm going to need to use kind of a mid-distance slider here. 13.6. I'm also going to need to use my directional arrow, as I mentioned, you know, but we might still be pulling. And as I mentioned, since we're pulling away, I'm going to do this somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 rings. That might even be just a little bit more. But all I'm trying to do is just basically use the backstop here. Looks like I didn't quite pull that off. I also might have pulled back just a little bit farther, but as I mentioned, you know, you are going to need some kind of elevation because you are shooting down to lower ground. So maybe somewhere up around here, 11, or, you know, another thing that I could do, because, you know, I kind of feel pretty good about maybe 80% club, 85%, somewhere in here. So you could just kind of consider that you are shooting down to lower ground and just kind of tweak this number up that way. It's probably a better estimation from what actually just happened, you know, had I gone 11 rings. And all I'm trying to do is land on the front of that fairway and just use the backstop. But you could see that I just kind of overhit it there. But for a very first day and, you know, shot, it's good enough. You know, once you make that mistake once, you'll never repeat it. So it's all about just kind of getting the, you know, calculation down more than anything. But you also see that this chip from back here isn't too much to worry about. Well, if you get your perfect ball timing, this can actually be a very easy chip. So what you're going to see me do is just kind of set up and just try to land maybe right around here. And you'll see that all points kind of lead towards the hole here. So no matter how much, I mean, you can already see I've gone kind of a ring sum, and it's pretty much staying the same spot, which is kind of cool. So from back here, you know, very little risk, especially if you get your perfect ball. And it looks like I missed it, so it's probably going to cut and just be off towards the right edge here. But had I hit my perfect ball, you know, probably center cut there. But again, you know, I shouldn't be there once I know, well, first off, the first bounce shouldn't be there ever again. So that's foremost, is I'll probably never be in that bunker again. But aside from that, even if I am in that position, I know how to play it for next time. So good luck there. You'll see that, you know, you had to make a very large ring correction for that sand shot. And also keep in mind that the bounces, especially in tailwind, they're going to, you know, bounce more predominantly forward. It's going to be much tougher to stop than what you see on the ball guide. So good luck with that hole, guys. You know, be looking forward to my revisions. We're pretty much just going to be going for the green there. So the only thing I'm going to do is on my next revision, we're going to do it a different way, change the ball, and try to, you know, isolate what needs to be done there. So good luck, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.